What was it like in your postpartum season? You're married and now you bring a new life into this world, and it goes from just you and your spouse to now you, your spouse, and this little baby who your whole world revolves around.
And it's you and me, babe, whatever comes. Knowing bigger hands are holding ours, and the greatest days are ahead of us. Growing in love, learning to be a better us.
Hello, welcome to our home. We're so glad you're here.
Yeah. We all know that life can get stressful, right? Especially when we're going through major life changes. Sudden things like an unexpected job loss or expected things like a new baby, those changes have a way of elevating our stress in ways we didn't expect.
And on that note, today's program is really special to me because in our Just Us Girls segment, the ladies from the show are very candid about how they've navigated those stresses and how their marriages were impacted as a result.
Also, Doctors Les and Leslie Parrott will share ways we can reconnect with our spouse when at times we feel almost invisible to them.
There is so much packed in this show. Stay with us. Well, it's time for Just Us Girls. I'm so glad you've joined us, and I'm so glad the girls from Just Us Girls are here. Danielle McCauley and Kara Maines, and of course, the lovely Wendy Payne. So glad you're here. And we're missing Diane Clemens. Diane, we miss you. She had a scheduling conflict she could not get out of. She wishes she was here, but we do miss you, Diane. But we're glad Wendy's here.
Thank you.
Wendy, you have been a pastor for over 20 years.
Yes.
You're a wife, you're a mother, you're an Oma. You have a lot of wisdom to share, and you're bringing that pastor's perspective
Thank you.
into our conversation. So we're so glad you're
Happy
here.
to be here. Thank you, ladies.
And you're so much fun.
You are.
She has the best jackets, too.
So, okay, on today's episode, we are talking from our hearts. And my lovely daughter-in-love, Kara. Kara's married to our youngest son, Eric. Kara is going to get us started. Kara?
Yeah. So I just wanted to talk about something that's really close to my heart and to Eric and I, and to a lot of our friends in this season. Whether you're newlywed or wherever you are in your marriage, I think a lot of us can understand the stresses of life once you start having babies. So Eric and I have 3 beautiful children. They are our miracle babies. For those of you who don't know, we struggled with infertility for a few years, and there were lots of tears in that season. And now we have our 3 miracle babies, as I mentioned, and there's still lots of tears in this season. So different season. And so today I just really wanted us to share what it was like postpartum and how we made it through, because there are so many women out there who are silently struggling with postpartum. We see these beautiful photos on Facebook of kids with their babies, announcement videos, gender reveals, and you have women and spouses and marriages struggling in this department, whether it's from infertility or they're going through a really tough season in postpartum. And so just a little bit about our story is we have 3 children. Bradley is our first, and once we had him, COVID hit. And so we were looking forward to having our very first baby and all of the things that came on maternity leave, going to the zoo or taking him to places that we just weren't able to go because I was working, and then the whole world shuts down. And now I'm raising a baby, we're raising a baby in a world where he doesn't see people's faces. He only sees face masks, and where we're no longer allowed to go out and do anything. To now we have Grace, and when I was 20 weeks pregnant with Gracie Lou, my mom passed away. And so now struggling with, I had a C-section with her, we're going through postpartum, we have a little one at home. Eric got 3 days off of work to help in that transition.
It's a lot.
It was a lot. And so, and then finally, Lucas is our last, and I'm saying our last. Eric would definitely like for there to be more. And I said, bite your tongue.
Listen to your husband. He is the grandma.
And it's really been a healing journey with Lucas. He was our largest. He was 11 pounds, for those who don't know.
No
And
joke. No joke.
Yeah.
He weighed 11 pounds.
11 pounds, and that was a natural delivery, which
She
lots
is
of people
a
ask
rock
me
star.
what it
Yes,
was.
my daughter right there.
And so it just, what it's been like for our marriage. And so I just love if any of you would like to share, what was it like in your postpartum season? You're married and now you bring a new life into this world, and it goes from just you and your spouse to now you, your spouse, and this little baby who your whole world revolves around, and maybe hormonal changes from healing from that.
Well, I guess I'm the next in line as far as I've gone through this the most recently. It's been a few years, but honestly, with Keaton, he was such a great baby, such a good baby, and we kind of just had a few really awesome, beautiful years with him, to the point where I was like, you know, Dan was like, let's have another one. I'm like, can we just keep it us three for now? You know, he was such a good baby, such a good toddler. And then enter Braden. And he, for, you know, so many years, it was just a harder baby, you know, a real kind of strong-willed toddler and all of that. And it was hard, and we ourselves, not what you went through, but similar in just stress level and all of that. We had a major life change and went through a really dark season as I'm pregnant, and then on the other side of pregnancy, you know, Anne. And it was just, all of the pressures of life on top of you're emotional, you're underslept, you are fearful, and it's all wrapped up together. And, you know, I look back on those seasons, and sometimes I tried to do too much. I tried to almost be the martyr. I tried to be Wonder Woman. And for anybody that is just going through that season right now, I would just say, you don't have to be the martyr. Ask for help.
Yes.
Put a community around you. You know, for us, we didn't have family nearby, but we had our church family, and we had friends. And I'm so thankful for women who, you know, self-proclaimed aunts and of our kids that would just say, we're coming over, you guys go to the movies, recoup, you know, figure out who you are again. And that was just such a huge deal for us, was we couldn't have made it through without those people coming around. They say it takes a village, right? So so that was huge, but it's always tough, no matter if everything is smooth sailing on the exterior. Whatever it is, you are in the trenches, and it's hard.
It's hard when you see, when you talk about social media, and I think oftentimes we'll see pictures of, you know, perfect day at the park or whatever, and it's probably been 10,000 pictures taken before they get that one shot where your child isn't eating dirt or chewing the ear of your sibling or something, right?
Yeah.
So be easy. I love what you say about, you know, find support systems, and don't be afraid to ask for help, and remember that if you don't take care of yourself, you're no good for anybody else. So it's okay to be a little selfish and say, you know what, I just need an hour in the bathtub, and somebody needs to take care of these children. It's so important. Another thing, because I'm kind of on the other side of it now, my kids are all grown up. And I think what's really, really key as you go through all these stages is, because your focus tends to be on the kids and take care of the kids and the kids' needs. And that's where I see, even as a pastor, I see where marriage start to break down because their focus has been on the children. So if I can give any advice, would be, I know it's hard, and don't be afraid to ask for help, and find those moments to kind of like find who you are and recoup yourself, but also keep pouring into your relationship with your spouse. Because once those kids have left your home, all of a sudden you're like, if you've only focused on your children, you forget what your spouse, you forget each other. So as hard as it is, I know I'm speaking to the choir, I know it's hard, but be intentional on taking time for you and your husband, or you and yourself. Your children will forgive you. They will always love you. Even if mama takes a bathtub for an hour, your kids are still, they're going to survive. They're going to be okay. They're going to survive. But if you're no good, if you're losing your mind,
Yeah.
you're no good to your kids.
Because I know in the season of postpartum, you just had a baby and you feel like you're being pulled in all of these different directions. And you're healing and from having a baby, whatever that may look like, whether that's a C-section or not. And then your hormones can be all over. I remember looking in the mirror after I gave birth to Bradley, and I remember just crying and not being able to touch my stomach. I looked in the mirror and I was like, whose body is this? And so learning how to re-love my body, my postpartum body, but also knowing that my kids need me all the time. So now I'm overtouched because when you're nursing, it's like 24/7 in the first few months. And then knowing that my husband also has these needs. And I was looking up some statistics, and some women, they actually don't want to be intimate up to a year after. And so some of men's greatest needs are physical touch. And when your wife doesn't want to be touched for up to a year, like there can be long-term effects in a marriage. And so as a wife, as a mother, feeling like everybody has these needs, everybody needs something from me, but who's looking out for me when I am exhausted, I'm overtired, I'm overstimulated because I've been listening to the same nursery rhymes for 15 hours during the day, or a baby, colicky babies or medical babies, when you don't know if your baby's going to be okay or if you're in the hospital. I was looking up statistics because I wanted you viewers to know, if you're walking through this, that you're not alone in this. So mothers, between 1 to 3% of new mothers deal with panic disorder effects.
Wow.
Between 4 to 9% of new mothers deal with obsessive compulsive symptoms. Trauma and stressor-related disorders, including PTSD, affect about 3% of new mothers. The most common type of postpartum mood change is the postpartum blues, and that's estimated to affect up to 84% of new mothers. And then in Canada, almost 1/4, so 23% of mothers who reported to recently gave birth have feelings of postpartum depression or anxiety disorder. And 77% of mothers feel that it's okay to speak to their spouse about the mental struggles that's going on. And so here we have this season that is beautiful, and for many people it's their miracle having a baby, and yet it's the hardest season that they're ever walking through. And you want to be strong for everyone, and there's just moments where you just can't. And so there's scripture that I pulled up that I really felt spoke to this season in your walk. And it's Matthew 11, verse 28 to 30. And this is the message. It says, "Come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." And I feel like when you're so overtired and you don't know what's going on with your body and you're just trying to make it day by day, and you have these little ones who need you all the time, you're just looking for rest in your soul. And so how beautiful is Jesus, that he is humble and he is patient and he is kind and he is gentle with us in a season.
Is that for you?
Yeah, when we can feel so lost in it.
I think it's awesome to be honest about that, right? Find a support system that you can be transparent. Just to have somebody say, like, I remember with my daughter, my first daughter was so colicky. It was horrible. And thank God for my mom and a sister-in-law who would take her for the odd night just so I could get one night's sleep. But I remember sitting in the doctor's office, and the doctor, I could just cry thinking about it, because I remember the doctor saying to me, "Do you feel like throwing her out the window sometimes?" And that sounds horrible. When I speak those words, it sounds horrible, but he got me. He understood me, and I'm bawling and I'm saying, yes. Not that I would ever,
Of course not.
but you're such a mess. And just to have somebody hear you and acknowledge you and say, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line. Like
Yeah.
you put it well, Kara, when you said it's a season.
Yeah.
It's a season of your life. And when you're in the middle of it, it feels like it's a season that will never end. But if you just keep in mind that it's a very difficult, it's a beautiful season, but it's a hard season, but it will pass. It will morph into another season that will be easier, that will be more joy-filled, not so sleep-deprived. But to realize that it's something that you will get through and your husband will get through. And in your marriage, you're going to go through seasons where he needs more grace and you're going to go through seasons when you need more grace. But if you both realize that and you give each other grace, you're there for each other to help, I think it makes a big difference.
There's beautiful and hard in every season. And we have to look for the beauty in every season and try to dig it out, even if it's really hard. And there was a beautiful moment in my heart when I was so exhausted. This came to mind when you were talking about the nurse who talked to you. And a woman from our church, when probably the week after I had gotten home, our house was a disaster. Like a bomb went off. You know what it is. And this woman, and I got choked up thinking about it. She came in and she washed my bathroom. She cleaned it.
Goodness, that's beautiful.
And I could hear, I'm laying in bed and I could hear her rubbing on the floor. And it just meant the world to me. And I actually have done that several times now for other new moms. Just, I'm going to go and clean. I know it's a disaster and I know it's not pretty, but I'm going to go and give that to you. So I wanted to share that because I thought maybe you're out there and you have the capability to do that for a new mom, to just go into the middle of the mess and it's everything.
Because there's something about facing a hard day in a clean house versus facing a hard day in a dirty house.
Amen to that.
So true.
That's so
Right?
good. That is so good.
And-
Girls, thank you. So you have one more thing to say?
Well, it was just a quick illustration.
Sure.
It's called Getting Your Pink Back. So it's about flamingos.
Okay.
And so flamingos, when they have babies and they're taking care of their young, the female flamingos lose their pink because they're giving all their energy to their babies. And then even food they're giving to their babies, so they lose their pink. But the good news is, as their babies start to get independent and they start to eat on their own, the female flamingos start to become pink again.
Oh, I
And
love
sometimes that's like us.
That's a sermon right there.
Yes. Oh my goodness,
That's
I love that.
amazing.
So maybe you
Kara.
feel like you're
Wow.
losing your pink in this season. Don't worry. God's got you, and your pink will come back, and it will be stronger and beautiful, and your family will flourish under it, because the stature that you're in affects your family and your household and the atmosphere in your household. So take it day by day, and don't worry if your house doesn't look perfect, or today's a hard day and you just need to be in the tub or self-care. There will be better days, and God is with you through it all.
I love that, Kara. Thank you. Thank you for sharing so vulnerably. And thank you, girls, too. So glad you're with us today. Stay there, because there is more A Better Us to come.
How's your love tank, right? How full is your love tank? And that'll create some awareness for him. And if your love tank is low because you feel invisible, he's going to catch on and go, oh, I got to get with it, right? I got to see you.
Open my eyes.
Hi, Ron and Ann here, and thank you for your interest in A Better Us.
Today, more than ever, we all agree there's a vital need to protect and strengthen marriages and families.
You know, that's our goal through our A Better Us media ministry, live events, quality resources, and personal marriage coaching.
We want to inspire and equip couples everywhere toward a healthy, Christ-centered marriage.
A Better Us is a production of a nonprofit charity that we lead, and as we all know, it takes a team to get the job done.
And we need you to be a part of our team in order to sustain and grow this ministry.
The best way you can help us is by joining our monthly partnership program.
$35 a month will make a big difference in providing hope for many marriages. Simply visit abetterus.tv today and click donate.
Yeah. And when you sign up monthly, we'll send you 2 of our A Better Us coffee mugs to say thanks.
Most of all, you'll have the satisfaction of knowing that your investment is strengthening marriages and families around the world.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so this is kind of a tender question, and it comes from a wife who is feeling like her husband, well, her words, makes me feel invisible.
Yeah.
What can she do?
Yeah. And in those moments where you're desperate to be seen and known, you don't want to seem needy, right? Because that's already at the heart of your need. So what can you do? Here's one tip that can really sort of create a softness between you in those moments is to remember that it's the little ways that you turn toward each other. Like it's little, what I would even call micro moments where you're giving and getting attention from one another. And the more of those you give, the more you pull back for yourself. So don't miss those moments. Like, tune in. Like, is it a moment where he just turns to you and gives you a twinkle in his eye? You meet it warmly. Or is it an invitation to, come up beside him with a task? You meet it and you're present. And that presence starts to turn you toward each other.
Yeah, because the temptation is to be antagonistic and maybe even sarcastic about it. Like, what do I have to do? Put on a whole show just to get you to look at me?
Which does the opposite of what you're longing for. And that's to have just that organic, freely given attention. But it's also sometimes an issue of being listened to and feeling loved. And not everybody has the skills to offer those things.
Well, and I was going to say that sometimes certain people will just have zones where they're just not going to be good. You are invisible to them because they are so focused and they're obsessed with their work.
If they're task oriented, if they're...
Yeah, if you're married to an entrepreneur that's running their own business and they have anxiety about whatever, and their wheels just kind of never stop spinning. There's never an off switch on that. So you have to sometimes in certain relationships with certain people kind of say, hey, I need some you and me time. I need some us time.
Let me know when you might be able to offer that. And I can be patient. I'm holding a space open, but I need something to look forward to,
Right.
And let them know that you're missing them. So often we say, you're not there for me, instead of saying, I'm missing you.
Yes.
I want some time because I'm missing you. You're a gift to me.
Yeah. And I was just occurred to me, Gary Chapman, this simple exercise, just check in. This is something that the two of you can do once a week. How's your love tank, right? How full is your love tank? And that'll create some awareness for him. And if your love tank is low because you feel invisible, he's going to catch on and go, oh, I got to get with it, right? I got to see you.
Open my eyes, because when you're blind, it's just that. You literally are blind. You don't know what you're missing.
Right.
Yeah. I'm doing something right.
Oh.
Okay.
Me?
I'm the better listener. No. Well, it depends. It depends.
Why did you say you're the better listener? Where did that come from?
I'm listening now.
100%. It's her all the way.
I'm the better listener.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm a professional listener.
Yeah, that's an accurate assessment. Yes.
I would say, of course, I could be wrong, but I like to think I am. But she can, change that up if she wants.
Well, I was going to say me. So.
There you go. So, maybe not always hearing her heart, but hearing the vocal part of it. I think hearing the heart is probably more important, but yeah.
Okay. No, in the beginning,
Go ahead,
in the beginning, you were the better listener because I was constantly teaching you things.
True.
True. No, I'm just kidding.
And I had to learn to cut him off because he just didn't breathe in between. So now I do have to find my opportunities to jump in.
Yeah.
You can be the better listener.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. You're pretty good at it, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Me, I'm Canadian. So, of course, I say sorry all the time. In fact, he says that I've always said unnecessary sorries all the time.
Who knows? Who knows? You know, she just doesn't do anything wrong. So it's, why would she need to apologize?
No, I think I'm more mean than he is. I'm a little bit more stubborn. It's harder to say sorry. My dad's been telling me that for years. I accept.
Him. I don't know about that. I would hope it would be me, but I think it's you, actually. I do think it's you.
It's probably 50-50.
Yeah, that might be a dead heat. That's a tie.
You can answer that.
I would say you do.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing, but yeah. Yeah, takes her a little longer to process things, and yeah, which is fine, but yeah.
Because I'm American, you're Canadian, so
You've just learned to say sorry in the last year,
But you say
though.
sorry instead of sorry. So you
Yeah, but I'm really sorry.
But you would say it during times that were not needed. So I call them unnecessary sorries. But when I really needed you to say I'm
So
sorry.
I don't say sorry anymore at all.
When I needed you to say I'm sorry, you never said it. You never said I'm sorry. Just the unnecessary ones.
Yeah.
Hey friends, Ron and Ann Maines here, and we are so glad you're with us here on our A Better Us YouTube channel.
And we pray God's blessing on your marriage as you take this in.
And be sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already.
And enjoy this video.
Well, we've come to the end of another program, and we're so glad you've joined us.
This episode was special to me as the girls on the show were pretty candid in sharing their personal experiences of dealing with stress, especially postpartum stress.
Right. Husbands know that it's very real and is actually something that affects millions of women around the world.
And in that season, it's important to remember that it is a season, it will pass. That's when you really need to lean into each other as a couple with grace and patience and selflessness. And you know what? That kind of bonding will stay with you and will solidify the foundation of your marriage.
And if you find yourselves overwhelmed, it's okay to ask for help. One source of support could be your church, as Danielle and Wendy found. If you don't have a church family, let me encourage you to find one. Helping someone in need is one of the greatest gifts the church has to offer.
If you don't know where to start in finding a church, perhaps we can help. The phone number on your screen is our prayer line, and our team would be happy to not only pray with you for whatever it is you're going through, but also point you in the direction of a loving church in your area.
That prayer line is available 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Also, we have some marriage resources to help you on our website.
Thank you again for joining us for A Better Us. And remember, no matter what you're going through, as we always say, with God, there is always hope to become a better us.
Hey friends, we really hope you're enjoying the marriage conversations here on our A Better Us YouTube channel.
We have hundreds of more helpful marriage videos designed to give you hope and tools to make your marriage even better.
Right. And you can see just a few options we think you might like here and here. So keep exploring.
Oh, and make sure you subscribe by clicking here so you don't miss out on all the great marriage help we have coming your way all the time.